I hit live 3, 2, 1 on TikTok. We are going live. Welcome back. It's the Atheist Underground Psychological Emancipation Railway going live, dueling it tonight with our buddy producer Jay, streaming across the interwebs, and doing YouTube and TikTok. YouTube, TikTok, TikTok. Try to pay attention to both if I can. YouTube doesn't get a lot of play. My friends on TikTok, thank you all so much for your support. We're really stunned by the success of the channel, and I'm going to hit accept now. So Jay, I think we should have both of us on there. Yeah. Nice. Now I got a feedback. What do we got to do about that?
Yeah, I'll fix it. Give me a second.
Okay, you fix that, man, because it's in my headphones only. Got the headphones on tonight, and which doesn't really matter except to me, because we're just reading on TikTok. Hey guys, peculiar Sybil. Oh, peculiar Sybil. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Atheist Hub is right there for us, and our guy Sanctified. Yay.
Mama Bear's on YouTube watching.
Yeah, and not crazy cat lady. It's 3 a.m. in Denmark. My apple cheeked Danish pastry. You go to bed, man. What are you doing? But thanks for joining us. Thanks everybody for being here, and hit us up on YouTube if you can. If you haven't yet, go to YouTube and subscribe and like. Even if you never go there and use it, we're just trying to push up those subscribers to get to 1,000. So help us out there. AA looks like Jesus. What's that mean, man?
That's me. I look like, because my avatar.
Oh, your avatar looks like white Jesus.
Yeah.
Cartoon white Jesus. The faithless healer, Ginger, the faithless healer's in the studio. If you hear her yapping, that's my little dog. Maybe we'll get her face in front of the camera at some point. Got a video taken down. You know, I guess that's a milestone, right? We got a video taken down. One of our more popular ones too had, I think, 30,000 views at least when it got nailed finally, and it was the one on No God, No Rules, right? Another one. Somebody asked about morality. If there is no God, where does your morality come from? That bullshit. And I think it was because I called somebody a piece of shit. At the end of it, I said piece of shit. And I think that finally the questioner, who is Grocery Store 96, I remember, my memory is so good. I remember, I think maybe because they didn't comment for a long time, and then all of a sudden, after like 3 weeks, the video got taken down. So I think maybe they finally saw it and took it like I was telling them they were a piece of shit. And maybe they are. I don't really know. But I felt bad thinking about it, because they might have been someone on our side of things who was just asking a real question, someone on the fence or coming out of religiosity and wanting to know, what our thoughts were on where morality comes from. And if that's the case, I really do apologize. There you go. One for us for that. I see we're back up. We were going in and out on YouTube again. Jay,
yeah.
I don't know if that's me this time because my camera went away, but I couldn't be. Jesus hates most people. Yeah, it's probably true, man. If the Bible is to be believed, then Jesus probably does hate most people. But I think that's what goes on now. The believers think that the world is more amoral than ever, and most people are wicked, and that's a sign of end times coming, man. Because most people are wicked. When I really think that for most people alive, life has never been better. It's the people who want to go back to the 50s are generally like white people. It wasn't so good. It's simpler times, and everybody was decent, and Christian, and moral. It was only good for you in the 50s if you were a white man in America. I know that. So I don't really get that whole bit about how society's falling apart, because let me tell you, people have been talking that shit since Christ was taken down off the cross all those years ago, and ever since. And he's coming back. I know he's coming back in my lifetime. Yeah, you keep believing that. He ain't coming back, and he wouldn't. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody, and thank the trolls too for watching out. Apparently you can mute the trolls, Jay, and you should do that. Our girl told us that we should really do that if they're being obnoxious. because they use it as a ploy. Do you know about that?
Are you talking about in the comments or
comments? Yeah, if they're trying to like elicit a reaction from me, and then like take a screenshot and use it against us and try to get us plugged that way. So maybe maybe you can figure out, or I guess you got to hit their name while they're scrolling by. I don't really understand it. I'm old. Yes, I'm not really good at this fancy social media stuff.
Oh, you mean during the live stream?
Yeah, during the live stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, what we should do is we should there's a way to make other people admins, because usually I don't.
Yeah, and that's what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Non-crazy crazy cat lady offered to do that, and
I'm
happy to let her do that when you're not around. She can do that, or even when you are, if it's easier for you.
Yeah, no, it's way easier for me.
There you go.
I can show you. We could do that next time when we meet on Sunday for Sunday brunch.
Okay. It looks like she joined us. Now it's like I said, it's 3 a.m. They're unbelievable. Insomnia kills, though, man. I'm telling you, little old, and you won't have any trouble with insomnia anymore. Yeah, we don't. Tech Milo doesn't believe in a ferryman living in the sky. Somebody asked why do Trump appeal to evangelicals so much, and he appeals to them because he promotes their agenda. He supports the policies that they want to see in effect, namely, rolling back Roe versus Wade and restricting women's health rights and all that kind of bullshit. So they're never going to really go for the Democrats, even though the Democrats pander to the Christians too. And Trump, I think, is an outsider too. I think that part of the political swamp is garbage and a narcissist. And again, not really about his conservative policies. I don't want people thinking I'm just a liberal, knee-jerking against a Republican or a conservative, because that's not what it is. The guy was just unfit for office, and any thinking person can see that he has serious mental issues with narcissism. And who wants a representative? You want our country represented by a turd like that who lies nonstop and embarrasses us in front of the entire world? And I think that's part of it. People from the country in America don't care what the rest of the world thinks. They do not care, and they're proud to come out and say it. I've always been, a guy who sees the global economy and the one world, one people thing kind of coming. It's just the internet has made the world so much smaller to begin with. I remember when we used to have pen pals. If you wanted to have a friend in Denmark, my friend, you had to write to him and wait for your letter to come back in 2.5 weeks. Or wherever it took it. Now it's just boom, we're all connected, and this protectionism and isolationism I don't get. But the country fucking hicks here, they do not care what anybody in any other country thinks about their stupidity, and that's an issue to me. But that's why if I don't mean to get political, but if I get down on Trump, that's why, because of him and his personality and his unfitness for office, not because he was a Republican. I was raised a Republican, and I still have some kind of middle of the road ideas when it comes to that, and I'd be willing to vote for a decent Republican who wasn't tied to the evangelical right and wasn't tied to being pro-life, and all this identity politics shit kills me. That's enough about that turd. Breaking their cult mentality, I don't know. Education is the key to everything. That's all I can think of to say to that is we need to educate kids better in schools. We need to teach people the right thing, and the evangelicals are actively working against that. Texas is changing textbooks to stick Moses in it, like a real person from the past, and to try to stick Christianity into the Constitution, try to pretend that the Constitution was in any way based on Christian values or the Judeo-Christian myth arc. It wasn't, and the founders said it out loud. So to miseducate people like that, it makes it all worse. And people who are really into the cult, they have to come out on their own. Unfortunately, if you're already stuck in there and you've been drinking the Kool-Aid, then you have to have your own catharsis, I'm afraid, to get out of that. I read the Bible, Jack Nabbit. Yeah, I read the Bible. I was raised in a church, and it was a decent church, a good church. I read the Bible. I read it more than once, most of it. And, in the end, that just makes you an atheist if you actually read the goddamn thing. Might not be able to do, what's up? Oh, because you're gone, Jason? Or Jay, I didn't see that on.
No, I'm here for you.
I can't hear you on my headphones anymore.
Oh, hold on.
I heard that. I don't know where you are though. There you are.
Okay.
There you are. Now you're back. All right. Sweet. Is Bob responding to someone or just a personal rant?
Somebody asked, why don't you believe in God?
Why don't I believe in God?
I got some more.
Because there's no evidence that God exists. I mean, I spent a lot of years studying God and believing in God and you know, doing what I was told to do. Church. Bullshit, and it's all just reasoning. It's all just justifications for the fact that you can't see him, you can't hear him, he doesn't interact with us, but he did back in the day. You know, everybody's got a reason for all that shit, and all it is that they're indoctrinated and they want to believe. They need the comfort myth and they want to believe it's true, so they make up what they need to answer that is unanswerable about God. Mostly the fact that he's just fucking not around. You know, and if your belief in him makes you comfortable and it makes you think he's around, that, like I say, that's your right as an adult, but in that I'm doing pretty good. Crispy Lispy. Is she crispy or is he crispy? Can't really tell the gender there. Not that it matters. Yeah, same reason I don't believe in Thor or the Tooth Fairy. That's exactly right, Jack Nabbit. Kansas Cat joined. Toot out to Kansas Jack. Kansas Cat. Kansas Cat, not scat. Kansas Cat. You know what I love? I love the clever nicknames on and usernames on TikTok. Some people have some really, really funny shit. And I love that almost as much as I hate the trolls who can't even bother to put up a pic of an icon or you know, a cartoon or something, or have a username and they don't have any followers and they don't have any videos posted and they follow like 137 people and all they talk is stupid shit and they can't even like do that for us. I don't work for the railroad. I have a little toy railroad back there that we're going to try to work into the show, but no, it's just a bit. I've always loved railroads. My great grandfather worked for the railroad and took me over the railroad trestle when I was just a wee lad and look down over the huge Pennsylvania Railroad switching yards in Altoona, Pennsylvania back in the day. It's probably not what it was, but at one point that was the hub of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and it's been in my blood ever since. I love trains. I live by a train. I want to reach out and touch a train if I can anytime they come around. So no, don't actually work for them. The worst excuse I've heard about the existence of God, the worst excuse, I'm not sure quite what that means from the hub.
He also had a question, will there be a new major religion anytime in the next 100 to 300 years?
No hair, Mama Bear. I like a rhyme too. A rhyme and Rob and alliteration. I'm a big fan. What'd you say, Jay?
Atheist Sub also asked, will there be a new major religion anytime in the next 100 to 300 years?
Yes, and it'll be Batman. It'll be revolved around Batman, because if you look, Batman is the most written about superhero of the 20th century, and that's the excuse they use for Jesus's existence. You know, Bart Ehrman, who doesn't believe Jesus was divine, but believes he existed in some form, likes to say that he's the most well-documented Palestinian of the first century. I just don't buy that. You know, maybe he is, but that doesn't mean, you know, by that reasoning, like I like to say, Moby Dick is the most well-written about whale of the 18th century, so Moby Dick must be real. But yeah, no, I doubt it. I don't think in the future religion will be anything more than cults, just a few cults here and there of people who can't live without that comfort myth. Batman. Yeah, because of intelligent life, God must exist. You know, that's we basically know that's not true. It's not up for debate anymore. We know how intelligent life evolved on the planet. You know, scientists are moved on. They moved on to other things because those questions are basically answered. And the people who think that are the people who are indoctrinated into thinking that this is a special place created for special us. And they can't understand how this could all be by accident. And I hear that a lot. You think this is all just an accident? Yes, it's a fucking accident. Look at the amount of planets and the amount of galaxies, the amount of solar systems, the amount of galaxies in the universe is unfathomable. The number is so high that one of them, at a bare minimum, was going to have an accident like this. And we got lucky to be one of them, but there's probably, you know, countless worlds like this that have evolved over in the but it's unlikely that anyone's ever going to travel far enough and break the laws of the physical universe to travel fast enough to get to one of the other civilizations before it dies out or burns itself to death like we are, melts all the ice caps until we all drown and float away. Yeah, religion has always existed at the edge of understanding, and that makes sense. It existed in the beginning, especially to explain. Well, I see you're posting questions on the other side to explain the unknowable. So yeah, I mean, there'll always be the God of the gaps for people who are unwilling to take "I don't know" for an answer and wait for research to answer those questions. Some point, it's on a slow curve, but we see the numbers. Religion is dying. Evangelicals are down, and all of the other religions in America are down as well. So sooner or later, politicians will stop pandering to them because they won't need them to get elected.
Okay, I got another one for you. Voting in 2024. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop the YouTube feed and see if it will just right. And I'm gonna switch to. Oh no, how would that work?
And being an independent's fine. It's hard to vote for an independent candidate because you generally take